I'll be honest, I thought Spring Body was a fan name for years, and I thought it was one of the dumbest fan names yet. Oh, it's like Bonnie, but also he's the original version of Springtrap, so let's call him Spring Bonnie. It doesn't even make sense in a partner named Fred Bear. If we were following the same logic of just taking the first half of Freddy and then slapping the animal named Bear on the end, we'd get Bon Bunny, or Bon Bun, which, well, that conflicts with Funtime Freddy's little guy, but it would have been much better name, alright? Anyway, that's all to say that I'm not a huge fan of the name Spring Bonnie, though it could always be worse. Instead of calling more recent appearances of this Yellow Rabbit Spring Trap or Spring Bonnie, they've been officially referring to him as Yellow Rabbit. Now, the name was somewhat confusing for me when I realized that calling him Yellow Rabbit perfectly mirrors the bold name of Golden Freddy being Yellow Bear. That's a pretty neat connection that probably took me way too long to realize, but I didn't like Yellow Bear as a name either, and nobody even calls him that, so this doesn't exactly fix anything. The thing is, in cases where fan names are popular, they're usually just adopted as the real thing, or they're so ingrained in the fan base already that the real name is effectively ignored. But then there's fan names that are obviously placeholder and easily replaced by official names, like, or more recently, Fun Guy. Yellow Rabbit and Spring Bonnie always felt like placeholder names, just waiting for a better, more official name to come along. So I think they could probably be easily replaced by a good enough fan name. But on the topic of obviously placeholder names for characters, I've got to talk about the king of begging for an official name, the Crying Child. Crying Child was the most placeholder fan name of all time, because people knew for a long time that this book probably held the answers to what his real name was. And yet, it remained elusive for way longer than anyone thought it ever would. Crying Child is a pretty unique case when it comes to important characters with no official name reveal, because he's always struggled to keep a name stuck to him. Sure, Crying Child was used commonly enough that you could see it as an unofficial name that stuck, but I think ever since the Survival Logbook release, there was a general dissatisfaction with keeping that as his name. The first attempt at finding a proper name in the book led us to Evan, and normally that's just Dick Foley. I mean, it's a valid name, and for some people, Evan was good enough. But most theorists wouldn't let that slide because the logic needed to get there seemed too flawed to accept. But finally, 7 years after the book's release, people have seemingly settled on the ever-enticing option, Dave. Or maybe the name Cassidy is the Crying Child and Dave is the other one or something. You can never be too certain with FNAF. But ultimately, especially when it comes to names, what people collectively decide to believe is far more important than the actual truth. So now we have Dave, or David, and I guess we're going to stick with that. I mean, I remember seeing the name originally proposed and everyone being like, yep, that makes sense, good job, but I haven't heard the name actually in use too much outside of that, so maybe it's just taken a bit to catch on. Though these kinds of placeholder names really only happen in FNAFs 1 through 4. Starting with Sister Location, there seemed to be a deliberate attempt to give us names for most characters. Around the time between FNAF 4 and Sister Location is when those theory-plagued booksters started ramping things up in the lore department. And just in general, FNAF 4 started shifting the series from just having an implied story hidden in the background to a much more direct plot. As such, it became a lot harder to avoid giving characters names. You can't exactly spend a whole book talking about a serial killer and only ever describing him as a purple guy. You gotta drop a name at some point. Game-wise, Sister Location started off strong with the death of fan-favorite FNAF character Vincent by directly confirming that Purple Guy's name is William Afton, which was a good choice to directly show the name of such an important character in the games themselves instead of just leaving it to the books. But Sister Location also gave us Michael Afton's name in dialogue. It's me, Michael.
Curious how to make videos people can't look away from? Easy. Fire up ChemSet. AI video, throw in any photo, and type a couple words about what you want. Bang, your idea pops up, looking so real, like a pro made it. What are you waiting for? Grab the app, let creativity flow.
Pizzeria Simulator confirmed Henry's name, kinda, and Elizabeth's.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, Elizabeth.
Honestly, things ended up flipping in terms of name confirmation. In the earlier FNAF games, we knew all of the animatronics names, usually from phone calls or custom night menus, but none of the human names. Then, Sister Location of Beyond started giving us all the human names in cutscenes and dialogue while phasing out custom nights, so we don't know as many animatronic names. Like, well, Pizza City was some key human character names. We don't know the name of any of the animatronics being counted at night except for Lexi, who was in the shopping catalog. Ultimate Custom Night fixed this to varying degrees of success. Scrap Baby and Ultimate Brothers names were stuck fully in the fan-based lexicon of names, but prior to that, they were fan-named Freak Show Freddy and Freak Show Baby, which, honestly, pretty sick names, but the current ones are good too. What didn't stick was Afton, because that's not a very helpful name. William Afton is already the name of the alive guy. He then becomes Springtrap. Why would we go back to calling him Afton again after that? Look, Afton is a cool villain name. I won't deny that. And so is Springtrap. But most people don't like his pizza sim design, so they really needed a way to differentiate him from every other iteration of the character, meaning he gets the name Scraptrap by fans. Sorry, UCN, your official name sucked. After Ultimate Custom Night, Help Wanted kept up the pattern of naming the humans, but not the... Well, I guess this isn't an animatronic, but he certainly wasn't named. Also, Vanessa's name was actually revealed in Special Delivery, not Help Wanted, but Help Wanted did give us the name Jeremy, and... God, Jeremy, you don't even want to get me started on repeated names in this franchise, because I don't have a whole lot to say on that. But the real heavy hitter of official names is Security Breach, giving us a name for every character it reasonably could. This only left Burntrap and the Blob to be named by fans because, I mean, they're barely even acknowledged in dialogue. Freddy just lets you walk right past this giant spaghetti monster animatronic parts. Of course they're not going to drop the name if they don't even talk about them. However, when the Ultimate Character Guide dropped, there was still an effort to make sure these fan names don't stick by at least being like, hey, this is not the official name. We still won't tell you what the official name is, though. That just meant people started treating those names like the placeholder names of old, ready to be replaced by any other official info. In Burntrap's case, that meant being called the Mimic now, though people still use Burntrap to refer to this specific iteration of the Mimic, which is fair, I guess. And for the Blob, people took the other method of fan naming, going into the code, which revealed the code name, the Tango. So that's an option that not a lot of people use still, but that's FNAF's fault for not just using the official guide to reveal the real name. When else are we going to get a chance to learn what that thing's called? I also want to point out somewhat of an effort from Security Breach to fight back against the adjective plus name format for naming Freddy in the game. In the intro, they say Freddy Fazbear instead of Glamrock Freddy, which makes much more sense in universe that the Pizzaplex would advertise the actual name of their mascot instead of an adjective slapped in front of his first name. Okay, they do say Glamrock Chica literally right before that, but hey, they're working on it. And to be honest, having it say Chica Chicken would be really weird. Montgomery Gator, Roxanne Wolf, both fine. Chica Chicken, horrifically cursed. So I'll take Glamrock Chica in this case. Security Breach also has another fun name quirk with the daycare attendant. The individual names of Sun and Moon are a little boring for such beloved characters. So some people pushed for other options like Sunny and Moony as just cuter nicknames, or Sundrop and Moondrop, which were based off of these posters for DCA-themed candy. However, the cold, unfeeling heart of lore fans chugged onwards with the official names of just Sun and Moon. It's not as easy popularizing a new name for your little baby girls that already have an official one, but at least DCA fans got their Eclipse name.
Hello?
Baby,
Hello, did you go to sleep?
why did you turn your camera off?
Huh?
You turned your camera off and then didn't talk back.
So good, hear you.
I've been
I was just waking up.
trying to talk to you for over half an hour.
Oh, I couldn't hear you.
But no, I haven't. I couldn't get to bed.
I woke up at did you get any sleep?
I just said no.
Darling.
I just said I can't. I couldn't get to sleep. You can't be annoyed at me for that.
But I know, because we didn't let me for it.
I tried.
Well, it's all alright, but you still get annoyed at me for it.
I came. I wasn't on my thing, baby. I came off it.
Oh, okay, that's different of you. I guess that shows you that you're actually trying.
I was trying.
But sometimes you say it and you're like, but kept the thing on there.
I was literally trying to sleep.
What's it called, child?
Mm,
When we go back to sleep.
you want to go back to sleep?
Yeah.
Go on, then.
In my opinion, if I could just at least get myself from cancer, right? I woke up at least early.
Mm,
It's not anything right here. It's like, I still got a week to college.
mhm.
So that's sleep, right? I don't like that you're asleep.
I was literally talking to you in the loudest voice I could possibly get.
Like, all my phone audio now.
I love you.
I love you. I put the phone audio down to quiet. So I do that when I'm going to bed, just so that it's not really loud.
Mm. I love you.
Like, try and actually get some sleep,
Mm-mm.
darling.
Mm.
If I'm trying, right, to like lift myself up early, I got college,
What, today?
not today, I'm just getting myself used to it.
Yeah.
If you feel better, can we try and get to sleep?
Well, I will. Just not now.
Obviously not now, I mean like tonight.
Oh yeah, tonight I will. I thought you meant like now. I was like, no.
No, not
That's why I was confused. Do I sound tired?
now.
I'm not. Mm.
Alright, so I'm gonna go. I have my drink, I think I need to look at my book, and I'll go to bed. But I'll call you when I go back to bed, you know.
Let's see. I love
I'll go
you.
back to bed at 10.
Huh?
So, love you.
I love you, baby. Bye bye.
I do, bye-bye.
Bye bye. Love you.
Bye-bye.
But I've already talked about the overall confusion caused by this more in depth in a previous video, so I won't harp on about it too much. Other than that, I think